Welcome to TAMAPTA. I'm Debbie Gordon. Cancer is one of the most fatal diseases which has touched the lives of many people in the North. Many of our elders, friends, and relatives were taken by this disease. The Inuvialuit Regional Corporation, in respect and realization of this, held their first Cancer Fund Drive in December of 1987. I talked with IRC organizers, the president of the Alberta Northwest Territories Canadian Cancer Society, and Dr. Johan Kriegler on a time for giving. Cancer is the fourth leading killer in the Northwest Territories. A study done by Health and Welfare showed that in 1986, 38 people in the NWT died of cancer. Out of that 38, 60% was due to lung cancer. Dr. Johan Kriegler, an MD brought up from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan for the summer, gives us recent information on the disease and how it can affect you. Is cancer becoming a vital disease to our northern people?
Yes, indeed. Approximately 1 out of 5 people who die in the Northern Territories are going to die from cancer. So it is a very significant disease. In the Northern Territories in 1986, they did studies that showed that it's the 4th leading cause of death, which is significant.
What are some of the types of cancer?
Well, first probably I should tell you what cancer in essence is. Cancer is a condition where the cells in your body grow out of control. Your body cells normally multiply and then suddenly they go out of control, they invade other cells around it and they spread throughout the body. And that's what we call cancer.
Dr. Kriegler explained that throughout Canada and the world, lung is the most common cancer. Other common sites of cancer are stomach, colon, which is the large bowel, cervix, the uterus, and in women, breast cancer is considerably high. Is cancer an inherited disease?
No, it's not an inherited disease. It's a disease not like hemophilia or like the color of your eyes that you inherit from your parents. However, there are certain types of cancer, and here I'd like to mention breast cancer, that research has shown that if you have a mother or a sister who had breast cancer at an age younger than 50, then you are at an increased risk of developing breast cancer. And if that is the case, you should mention that to your family doctor at every visit.
Do you have known cases like this in the NWT that you know of?
Yes, there are cancers of, I presume you're talking about breast cancer. Yes, indeed. It's important to remember that there are not many people in the Northern Territories, and therefore one cancer, statistically wise, is significant. In young women from a sexually active age should have a yearly pap test done by their doctor or nurse. The reason for this is that a pap smear picks up cancer of the cervix, which is the mouth of the womb, at a very, very early age. In actual fact, we can pick up cancer of the cervix even before it is cancer. And it's a very simple, it's a painless test, and it's quick. And it can tell us very accurately if somebody is going to develop cancer. And if that is the case, it can be treated and cured. It is one of the cancers which we've got very easy access to at a very early age, and therefore we can get 100% cure rate with it. And finally, all women should ask their family physician or their health nurse to advise them on how to do breast self-examination. Breast cancer is very common. 1 out of 12 Canadian women will get breast cancer, and 1 out of 30 Canadian women will die from it. So it is a common disease. It can be picked up early by women examining their breasts themselves once a month.
Cancer is a threatening disease to everyone. It can take the life of a newborn baby right to our elders. However, it affects the elders 65 and over the most. Dr. Kriegler mentioned young teenage girls should take extra care.
Smoking effects will affect girls equally to boys. However, in the Northern Territories, the smoking rates among school children is the highest in the whole of Canada. In actual fact, the prevalence of smoking among school children in the Northern Territories is twice that of the rest of Canada. Another interesting feature of the study that was made and the survey that was done of the school children in the Northern Territories is that school girls seem to smoke more than the boys of the same age. And not only that, they seem to be starting to smoke at a younger age than the boys of a comparative age. Mm-hmm. The research and studies have also shown that the younger you are when you start smoking, the greater your chances are of dying from the cancer if you do get the cancer.
I asked the doctor if any of our native animals which migrate south could bring back any disease that could cause cancer, and here was his reply.
At present, there's no evidence to link any native foods and cancer. However, a well-balanced diet, low in fat, high in fiber, may reduce the chances of developing various forms of cancer, the commonest amongst them being the cancer of the large bowel and the rectum, cancer of the breast, cancer of the uterus, the ovary, the prostate, and the pancreas. The basic principle is eat a healthy, balanced diet. The message I have is we should do what we can do about this serious disease. What we can do is we can prevent a lot of the types of cancers because we know what causes them. For example, cigarette smoke and tobacco causes cancer of the lung, the mouth, the lip, your vocal cords or the larynx, the stomach and the pancreas. They're all related to the use of cigarette smoke and tobacco. Another preventive measure we can take is to try and prevent sexual promiscuity. And if people are going to be sexually active at a young age, is to use condoms. The reason for that is that the human papilloma virus has been implicated in cancer of the cervix, and the use of a condom will actually prevent the transmission of that virus. And thirdly, we can prevent skin cancer by taking care of our skin, especially in the sun. The next step that can be taken is to find cancer very early on, because if it's found early on, we can actually treat it and cure it. And as mentioned before, follow the 7 steps to health, have a regular checkup.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Maybe. Maybe it's too fast. Maybe it's not fast enough. Maybe we'll never catch up. Maybe we're meant to go when we do. Maybe, just maybe, we'll see each other again.
The Inuvialuit Regional Corporation, in realization of the disease of cancer to our native people and in respect to the elders, friends, and relatives who have passed away due to this fatal disease, began preparation for the first cancer fundraiser. Bill Alikuk, IRC's former public relations officer, coordinated the drive along with the help of others in the corporation. What does cancer mean to you?
Personally, it means a tone of sadness because it did touch my adopted family quite closely. I lost my stepfather to cancer in 1969. In fact, it was the day before Christmas. And when this was, when we started talking about this in September, October, I got excited about it only because it means something to me, and I think it should mean a lot to a lot of people in terms of giving support to a drive such as this.
Cancer to me is a very dreaded disease. As you know, there's no cure for this thing. It has affected a lot of the Inuvialuit people in all areas of the whole settlement region, regardless of whether they're old people, middle-aged, or younger people. Someone has died of cancer within our area sometime, and there will be more in the future. But I think this is one of the ways that we really feel that we can help the Canadian Cancer Society in battling this dreaded disease.
How did you come about with your theme?
It was one of those things where we were trying to come up with an agenda or a plan for the events, and it just more or less came up. I thought a time for giving was an excellent theme for an event such as this, and I hope that everyone takes that theme to heart, because I really believe it means a lot. It is a time for giving.
A Time for Giving began on the evening of December the 10th in Inuvik. Following Inuvik's festivities, A Time for Giving went on to Aklavik, Tuktoyaktuk, Sax Harbor, Pawlatuck, and ended off over a week later in Holman. The evening was filled with festive events for everyone to enjoy. The Arctic College recreation class put together the children's games. Everyone enjoyed singing by Louis Goose of Aklavik, Mary Cooksuk from Eskimo Point, fiddling by Willie Gordon, and performances by the Delta drummers and dancers. Many friendly faces from surrounding communities were seen at the drive's opening ceremonies. This inspires IRC and community corporations for their upcoming annual events in the years to come. Herb Imler, the president of the Alberta Northwest Territories Canadian Cancer Society, and Mary Choke, the Cancer Society fundraiser, attended Inuvik's fund drive. What made you interested in coming to the North for their fundraiser they're holding tonight?
To get people involved and hoping to enlarge on the volunteers that we'd be able to get within the areas, such as Inuvik and other parts of the territories.
Is this the first fundraiser held in the Northwest Territories for your Canadian Cancer Society?
This is the first fundraising special event. They had a program in Yellowknife here just at the end of November, which raised was in the vicinity of under 19,000, but this is the first special event that they've had in this area. I am pleased to present a certificate of appreciation to the Inuvik, the Inuvialuit Regional Corporation in grateful recognition of services rendered on behalf of the Society in its fight against cancer, presented on December 11, 1987. Thank you once again.
Finding that support out there is so integral in an organization like the Canadian Cancer Society operating. And the next person I'd like to call up is actively involved in that role, no stranger to Inuvik. I'd like to welcome back, please, Mary Troke.
The Inuvialuit Regional Corporation has accomplished a first. They have organized the very first fundraising special event for the Canadian Cancer Society in the Northwest Territories, and are to be highly commended for their energy and caring shown towards their people. For the proceeds raised from tonight's event and from the other communities' events will help all Northerners. Their donated dollars will fund researchers to discover new advances in cancer research, and they'll also be helping their children through the public education programs the Cancer Society runs.
Janam mabluda gajanam ne palok si mayo Dekatiga palak tang man manik tangi karak suti mani na bot selok si mayo kinabulong Upingami gajanap to gajanam marik to timyak palui timyak palopi tu sa kadak sumila upingami gajanap to gajanam marik to timyak palui timyak palopi tu sa kadak sumila.
The first game is going to be called the pop relay race, okay? So as soon as all the kids are here, we're going to divide you up into 4 or 5 teams, and you're going to have a pop can between your legs, and you're going to go up one end of the hall to the other one, pass it to your partner, and come back, okay? Okay, these are the winners here. Everybody wins. Everybody gets a pop.
Main event was the auction. All items were donated by retail outlets in all the outlying communities.
We know that you've all dug deep into your hearts for this, and now we want you to dig into your pockets.
Presented the
Let's make
Canadian
this
Cancer Society.
We have totaled just a shade under 29,000, which I'm very, very pleased with, and I know that the executive level of the regional corporation, the Inuvialuit Regional Corporation, are very pleased with that total, and obviously the Canadian Cancer Society is very pleased with that amount.
$50 going once, $50 going twice. Do we have $55 anywhere on the Fox? $55 anywhere on the Fox? Sold. You got the $50. Somebody bid $35 on the tree. We have $30. Could I possibly have $35 bid on this tree? We have $35. Thank you very much. Sold. $35. Thank you. $80 going twice. It's your last chance. $85 anywhere? Sold for $80. How many of them do you want? Mrs. Campbell took the bid. 3? We have 3 sold at $80. Does anybody else want any of them at $80 a piece? Okay, we have 3, all 6 of them sold now. Thank you very much. Could you go over and give your names to the girls at the side, please? Thank you. Somebody give me a $170 bid on these mitts. $170. Somebody give me, I have 170. It's your last chance to bid, 180 on this pair of mitts made in Fort McPherson. Sold at $170. Thank you very much. $160 I have. 170 anywhere. Excuse me. We have 160 over here. 170, we have 170? Okay, we have $200. Thank you very much to Karen. Anybody want to bid $210 on this pair of mucklucks? A good sealskin mucklucks. What? $200. So, thank you very much. So all this money is going to a very good cause. Let's have $90 on $5. Try it later if you don't get it. $95. Come on, let's have $95 bid. Somebody give me 95. I have $120. I need $125. You're not going to let him steal that for $5, are you? Give me $125. Sold. $140. Less perfect. Thank you.
Now put my bid down at $350 for this one.
Well, thank you very much, Roger. We have a sleeping bag here donated by the Hudson Bay. It's a Trek sleeping bag. We have a $350 bid from Roger on it. It's an excellent bag. We have $350. Do I see 360 anywhere for this sleeping bag? 370? I have 370, 380. Somebody give me $380 for this sleeping bag. It's an excellent bag. Sold, $380. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Campbell. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is, I guess, the last item. And again, I would like to thank everybody very much for participating in this.
In your message or in your presentation that you'll be doing at the cancer fundraiser in Inuvik, what will be your message to the people that are here attending?
Well, I guess my message would be there that we're looking for lots more volunteers up in the northern areas, and ask them to please join with Billy, Alika, and volunteering to help fight the cancer.
Do you think you'll be up again, seeing that as this will be an annual event?
I'm sure I will be, or one of my people that will succeed me.
In the north, there is a tradition of giving amongst its first people. In the past, Northerners shared food and shelter of their families and communities and saved many lives through their sharing. Tonight, this tradition of giving continues, and the lives will be saved through your generosity. Northerners are generous people, and already the festivities tonight demonstrate that.
The IRC family is initiating this drive to raise funds in the fight against cancer. These events in all of our communities are in memory of the loved ones that we have lost in the past and those who are suffering from the disease today.
Throughout the evening, door prizes were drawn. Hopes were high and fingers crossed before the time came to draw the winning ticket of the major raffle. The first and second prize were donated by Yamaha Motors Limited and the Inuvialuit Development Corporation. Third prize donated by Polar TV.
The winner again is from Inuvialuit for the Yamaha Bravo 250. Ticket number 0786, Wally Stokes. Okay. The winner of the first prize, ticket number 1202. The ticket is from Sax Harbor, won by David Nasagelo.
Now we're going to have Kathleen Hansen and Sarah Tigmel get up and do a dance on Dorcas Island.
Everyone got into the Christmas spirit with an old-time drum dance. Bill Alika, Coordinator, John Banksland, Director for Aklavix Community Corporation, Herb Inler, the President of the Cancer Society for Alberta and the NWT, and Dr. Johan Kriegler will leave you with their message on the disease of cancer. What are your feelings on cancer concerning the Native people here in the North?
It is a real disease. It is a disease that is devastating in its effects. The one very important fact is that we know some causes of this disease and we can actually prevent it. Therefore, I feel that if the northern population becomes more aware of the causes of cancer, they can know where to go for help. Secondly, if they go and see help very early on, they can actually get to be treated and cured very early on.
Can you tell me, why did you decide to get involved with the Canadian Cancer Society?
Well, I took a public speaking course one time, and one of the questions was to give a talk on cancer as a result of information that I'd picked up at the local unit office. That got me started over 25 years ago, and I've been involved in it ever since.
This year, I think the main scope of this whole exercise will be what happens in Inuvik and how it goes about, because this is our first effort actually, and we really haven't had too much time to prepare for this type of thing. But I think from this, what happens this year will sort of gauge as to what will happen in years to come.
Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Only that in my heart, I feel really pleased with the turnout and the turnout that we had within the communities, and I can't say thank you enough for the donations that were made, the time that was given by volunteer members, the food that was made for each event, and I only hope that what has happened in the communities for the first events is an indication of what's going to happen for the years to come. Is an indication, and that alone, I think, should make everyone feel really, really pleased that we are in full support of a drive such as this one here for the Canadian Cancer Society.
Thank you very much.